Hey guys, what's up? DDHD back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the scanner class. Let's get to it, guys. So the scanner class in Java is mainly used to get input from keyboards that users are using, right? We can have inputs such as strings, integers, doubles, or most of the other primitive data types, but the point really is to get that user input from the keyboard. So for example, we can have, people input their names into our Java program using the scanner class, right? We could say, what is your name? And then they could actually enter their name into our program. So this can be quite useful in small examples, such as if you're making a bank, so that you'd want them to enter their name, their password, so that they can log into their accounts. So really there's a whole bunch of examples for this, but that's really a simple one. Now before we get into it, we'd want to know that the scanner class is something that has to be imported into our Java program. So every single time we use it in our own class, such as this one, which is called the scanner tutorial class, we'd want to import the scanner class if we're looking to use it. So you want to type import, and then you want to type java.util, and then type scanner. Put a semicolon to close that off. So what this does is that it goes into Java's utilities packages, and it imports the scanner class into the class that we're currently using. So what this means is that we can actually create a scanner object and use the methods of the scanner class in this project. So here we have, once we're inside of our code, right, our coding area, we can actually create the scanner object. For that, you want to type scanner and then put whatever variable name. It's usually going to be sc. It's a very standard way of denoting it. And then you'd want to say new scanner and put a parameter. Now inside of this parameter, we're going to say system.in. So this is what really allows us to use our keyboard and enter information into the Java program. So here we have created the scanner object in this line of code over here, and now we can actually use the methods of the scanner class. So first off, why don't we try something very simple? Why don't we ask the user their name? So for that, you'd want to use a string input. I'll denote this as string input. And the way you'd want to do this is create a string, right? Let's call the string name. And then in that, we can actually say sc.nextLine, which has to be capitalized. That line has to be capitalized. And then we need to put a semicolon at the end of it. So what this does is that this piece of the code right here is a method in the scanner class, which allows you to get the information from your console and enter it into the variable name. Now, if we print out the variable name after this, what happens is that it's actually going to print out what is stored in it, which is going to be user input. Now, before we move on, I just want to tell you guys that I've made a small edit over here. It's actually going to say your name is, and then put the name there so that it's a little bit easier to understand when we look at it. Now, if you want to put in integers, you actually want to use a different method. Now, first of all, we need to have an integer variable. We will call this int age, and we can use one of the methods of the scanner class. Now, in this case, this is going to be called nextInt. So we'd want to say sc.nextInt. Obviously, put in your brackets and finish it off with a semicolon. So what this allows us to do is the same thing as we did with the strings, but now with integers. So every single variable type will have its own nextInt or nextLine method that is specific to each single variable type. So if we're doing integers, we'd want to use nextInt. Now why don't we go down over here and print this out again, so that we can say your name or your age is, and then we can print our age. So now the computer should print our age and our name. So let's say our name, and then we can put in our age. Let's say 24 years old. So it's going to say your age is 24 and your name is Bob. Now moving on, let's go on to the double input. So for the double input, we want to use something that is specific for the double, right? The way that we use nextInt, we're gonna be using nextDouble. So we want to create a double variable and then have a name for it. I'm going to call this account balance. And the next thing you'd want to do is sc.nextDouble. Now put the parentheses over there and close it with a semicolon. Now what this does is that it allows the user to put in a double, which is basically like a decimal value, and that will be set in the account balance. So if we print this out again, what will happen is that we will be able to enter our name, which will be still Bob, our age, which is 24, and then our account balance, which we will set to $1,000. So what Java will throw back out, because we have all of these system.out println statements, is that our balance, which is 1,000, our age, which is 24, and our name, which we entered, is Bob. So this is really the gist of how to use the scanner class. Now, if you want to use different types of variables, such as floats or longs, you can use next float with parentheses, or you could use dot next long. That's really dependent on each different variable type. So if you want to look those up, you can definitely go look this up on the Oracle site. There's a little table that gives you all of the different methods that you could possibly use. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use the scanner class, how to initiate it, and how to use the different methods of it. If you like this video, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. And if you want more of these videos, hit that subscribe button, because those are on their way. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.